Hi guys.
Hello everyone.
Wow, this shirt, this shirt's very bright.
It is bright.
Yeah, and I can see it in the camera here. It's definitely bright. I'm starting to dabble into my new shirts that was in my Bally Buying boxes, and this was one of them. I haven't worn in a long time. So how are you feeling now that your oral surgery's at day 6?
A lot better, back to normal now. And thank you guys for all the well wishes. It was very nice. A lot of nice comments from you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, she's back to normal, and the smile is back. So we're very, very happy. Hey, guys, the last 7 days, especially with our costing video, we gained over 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, thank you everyone.
Guys, that is amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining our journey. We have so many long-term viewers that watch our channels religiously day in and day out, and we thank you guys for that. But we also welcome all the new subscribers. We appreciate it very much. So this video is going to be all about our pool heater. So just messing around, guys. We're not taking it seriously. We're not going to invest a lot of money in like a solar heater or a propane heater or anything like that. We just been looking at YouTube and looking at little manual heaters that we can just boost the temperature of our pool water a few degrees. Now that may sound like an odd thing in the Philippines.
I know.
Because the Philippines is hot. But again, I'll say it again, we're at 640 meters above sea level, and it does get down pretty consistent, 70 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm not sure what that is for Celsius. I think it's like 18, 19 Celsius every night. Pretty consistent. So the water does cool off. Now we did go to Tropical Pools, which is our favorite pool place in Dumaguete City. And we asked them, hey, do you have a pool thermometer? And the owner laughed at me.
She just laughed.
She just laughed and said, no one's ever requested a pool thermometer ever. And then I said, well, I guess I shouldn't ask for a solar cover. And she laughed again and said, absolutely not. No one's ever bought one from her establishment, nor does she even sell them. She said she could probably order it, but it would take a long time to come in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a very simple pool heater that I found on YouTube that other people have made. So we're going to do it in 2 parts. And again, we're not taking it seriously. It's just a little project that we're just trying to boost the temperature a couple degrees. And we see if we're going to be successful or not. We've had quite a few people come up and swim, and all the Filipinos say "Bugnaw" when they jump in.
Bugnaw kayo.
Bugnaw kayo, which means very cold. So if you're down at sea level, the water is sea level. The water is much warmer. So up here, it's not. So it's going to be 2 parts, and we're going to start today with part 1, and then we'll wrap up tomorrow with part 2. So I hope you guys are interested in our makeshift pool heater, building the Philippine style. On to the next project. So today I'm going to tackle the makeshift pool heater. So I have my helper right there, the boss, and look how I lined up my tools for you guys. So one of the things that I did was, and I think I mentioned this many times, I like Cobalt from Lowe's, and I went and basically bought every tool that they had. Hand tool, saws, screwdrivers, wrenches, and every battery powered. And I got all 24 volt VMAX. And I bought a 3-pack of batteries, plus they come with batteries. I think I have 5 or 6 batteries. They last a real long time. Now they're 110, so you have to use your 110 outlet to charge them. But I brought all the tools, so now whenever I do a little project, I'm good to go. So here's the piece of plywood I'm going to use for the pool heater. You're going to be happy, right? So actually, it's been pretty good, and you can see we got a rainstorm today. Look at the pool. Somebody was asking how often do we put water in it. In the last month or two, 0. I'm taking water out, so I'm probably going to have to take out an inch or two. Let me look at the skimmer. Yeah, see how the water line is over the skimmer? So I got to take about 2 inches of water out because we had a pretty good storm today. So we'll be testing our work. I went down there and looked. I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like we fared really good. No water spilled over, so that's real good. So I think we're in good shape there. So now the next project is coming off of the steps. See the watermarks there still in the center? So I'm gonna have to dig a trench right here. Let me take the zoom out. I'm gonna have to dig a trench here and have some more PVC pipe running this way to get the water just to go down the driveway, and that will also eliminate a lot of water coming down here as well. So that's my next project after we get the pool heater completed. So take a look at the plywood I bought, and they call it 15 millimeter plywood. It's pretty thick. Here's my thumb. It's a little thicker than 1/2 inch, maybe a little smaller, or right around 9/16. It's definitely thinner than 5/8, but they call it 15 millimeter. So we're gonna paint this black. And what I'm gonna do, I already did my line. See my line? So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. First time using my battery operated skill saw. I'm gonna cut this off at 4 to 8 inches and then create probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 inch walls all the way around. That will accept the pipe. But before we put the pipe in, obviously we're gonna have to paint this black. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and give this a quick saw. All right, so that was pretty easy. Just to get this cut to a 4x4 piece, and then I cut my 4 strips to be my sidewalls. And take a look, Jim. I know you're a DeWalt fan. You only use DeWalt, and you're probably wondering why I'm using Cobalt. But I got some DeWalt just for you. So what I'm doing now is just simply screwing in. And take a look at this. This is a newspaper that they tape together at the hardware store, and that is their bag for the screws, because you can't buy these by the pound or by the kilo. You buy them loose. They're not packaged. That's just the way they are here. But they don't give you little bags. So they paid somebody to cut pieces of paper at the hardware store and look, tape together for a little bag. That's the way you get your screws. So you buy these screws at the hardware store, buy the screw. So I said, give me 20 of them, and they just throw it in a little bag. So what I'm doing is just going around, and I'm going to build a little wall all the way around. That's my next step. And then there's gonna have to be holes cut here, 2 of them, for the pipe going in that will just circle, and then the pipe going out, the hose going out. Then also I'm probably going to have it on a little bit of an angle. So on the bottom, wherever the bottom is, I'm going to have some holes for rain, because I'm going to try to find a piece of plexiglass to go over this, or some kind of plastic, but I have not found it. Went to 2 hardware stores, have not found it. So for right now, It's just going to be plywood with four small 3-inch walls with the hose going in a circular motion. We're going to paint this black. Hopefully we'll get that done today. And then the rain holes, and then the holes for the hose to come in and out. So hopefully we'll be able to find plexiglass, but we'll see. Nice afternoon here in Darwin. A little cloudy, not too bad after morning rain. All right, so this is the skeleton of the project. So it's 4 foot by 4 foot, and I got 3-inch side walls, all plywood, going all the way around, all screwed in, screwed to each other, as you can see here, and then multiple screws. So it's pretty sturdy underneath. So there's screws basically all the way around, holding it in place. 2 in the corners and 1 on the ends. So it's going nowhere. And again, couldn't find plexiglass or any type of plastic, but I will at some point. So this is the basic design. So next step is to paint it. And that's what Wilma and I are going to do next. We'll paint both sides all the way around, just to try to keep it, away from the weather as much as possible. So the thought in this, if you guys were following, when I was trying to explain it, just verbally, not with the actual box in place, is there's going to be hoses. And I will have a hole here and don't know where it's going to end up. So either I'll go clockwise or counterclockwise. So I would imagine the inlet would be probably in the corner and then start going up. And then just making the circle smaller and smaller and smaller. So you may want to have the outlet hole in the middle. We'll see how it all plays out. I was going to drill 2 holes in the corner. I said, well, wait, let me wait for that until I get the hose in place and see how it all comes out. But the idea is, with the pump that I have, we'll pump water in and then circulate nice and slow all the way around, with this being painted black and with the piping being black. Actually, it's green and black. But I may just end up painting the hose as well with just a spray paint. But we'll see. Maybe it doesn't need to if this is all black. We'll have this be in the sun. And then the end of the hose does have where I can control the flow. Because I watched on quite a few YouTube channels where they say if the water is flowing too fast, it doesn't get a chance to warm up. And if it flows too slow, you don't get enough warm water in the pool. So you have to adjust it. And the hose is adjustable, so we'll be able to mess with that. But again, the thought process is the sun will get this nice and hot, and then the water will circulate with the pump. And I bought 2 30 meters, so 60 meters. So what is that, about 125 feet of hose? I hope it all fits in there. Don't know that. We'll find that out. And it'll return warmer water and put it in the pool. So that's the thought process. So next step is painting. So we're keeping track of the costs. And this liter of black paint was 230 pesos at the local hardware store. But again, just real quick drying enamel, Island Paint, which actually is the same name brand as the Sand Dune. That was also Island Paint. And it's color black. So I'll go ahead and get that open and get started. All right, it's time for a quick story. So Wilma and I, when we first got here, we wanted to buy a TV, which we bought a 55-inch for our bedroom. It's in there now. This is when we were in Leyte. So we went to Imperial Appliance, and we looked for Samsung TVs. We found the one we wanted, and they said, sir, we need to take it out of the box and actually fire it up and use it to show you that it's okay, which I wasn't used to. Now I'm used to that. So he says, I'm going to get you a chair, and you can just sit and wait for us to get the TV out of stock, out of the box, and to test it for you. And this is the size chair that they gave me to wait. So this was me at the appliance store, sitting in the store with a bunch of people walking by, waiting for them to get the TV. So this is the size of the chair that they gave me. I just wanted to tell that story because I've been waiting to do this for a long time, because this is a chair that Wilma bought whenever she does any gardening or anything like that. And I think they use it for laundry, right?
Yes.
A lot for laundry?
Yes.
But she bought this so when she's actually weeding the garden, she can actually sit in this little chair. But they actually gave me this size chair to sit in the store and wait for my TV to be ready. So you can see, we're not going to buy rollers or anything like that. We have plenty of time on our hands. So we're not even going to use new brushes that we have. We're just going to use these used brushes just because it doesn't really matter. Now this is the back side. So we're going to go ahead and paint that as well. Not really worry about it too much, just because it's going to be face down, number one, and there's going to be piping on the other side, and you're really not going to see the paint itself. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want to get a coat of paint on the underside of the plywood as well, because this is going to be out in the elements, and we'll put rocks underneath it to make sure that it's not laying on the dirt. We'll keep it up off the ground so it has air under it, but we definitely want to get a quick coat of paint on the underside as well. All right, so the can says quick drying, so we'll find out how quick it dries. But boy, that went on easy, real easy. So we're going to give this a few minutes, and then we'll continue on with the other side. All right, so the weather is still holding up, looking okay. It's definitely cloudy, but I think we'll be a few hours without rain, I hope. So we got it painted. We did the backside, let it sit about 15 minutes. Then we set up some rocks in 4 points and laid it down. And then put a real good coat on the sides, and obviously there where the hose will be. So obviously it's going to take some time. We put it on pretty good, and it says quick drying, so we're hoping we get at least an hour or two without rain, enough at least to get it dry enough so we can get it under the carport for the night. And then tomorrow this will be dry, and then what we'll do is the next step will be to start coiling the 125 feet of hose and determine where the holes will be for the entry and the exit for the hose, as well as the rain holes to allow the rain to come out. So what I was figuring on is maybe just put it up, maybe 5 degrees, maybe 10 degrees, just so when rain hits, the rain all goes to one bottom side and exits. So few steps done of our makeshift pool heater.